Let's talk about how to build a proper crypto portfolio. Because many people have been asking, hey, I want to get into crypto, which coins do I buy? And it's not as simple as this and that and you're golden, because there are so many different sectors and so many different ways to build a proper portfolio that I decided to make a video about how exactly you can find which coins will work for you. And since it's meant to work for nearly anybody, I call this the ultimate crypto portfolio, so make sure you give this video a like. First of all, let's just quickly state that we believe the crypto market is going to basically mostly go up until right around July or November of 2025. If you do not understand this chart, don't worry too much about it. We just think that the line for the Bitcoin price is mostly going to be going in that direction, so upwards as time progresses, and that basically means that many of these altcoins, of which there are a ton, will most likely also be seeing crazy prices. But again, we shall need to give this some time. So let's first set one basis actually. Bitcoin is obviously the number one coin. Every single other thing here is an altcoin. Generally speaking, the higher up on the ranking here, on the ladder we go, the more market cap that's inside of it, meaning the more sort of money is locked up in it. It's not exactly that, but just say this is basically what the asset is worth. In this case, $94,000 per Bitcoin, but roughly $1.8 trillion is locked up, is the value of all the Bitcoin combined. And as you go lower down the rankings, that's how they're ranked right here. It's called the market cap. It gets lower and lower and lower. And that also kind of connects with the multiplier we can get on the coin. Meaning, well, if the coin has only got, let's just say, $800 million in total value in market cap, we expect generally that it can do a better multiplier. It can more easily do a 10x from here, going from 800 million to 8 billion, than going from 1.8 trillion to 18 trillion, as obviously the amount of new money, new interest, etc. needed is significantly more. I mean, just off of one announcement, the price of this coin right here at the bottom could probably double or triple just off one announcement, because the increase in market cap is really not that significant. Just like how Core, for example, right now is down 85% from its all-time high. Just to go back to its highest point, it needs to basically do, let's just call this a 6 or so X, which is way, way, way easier to achieve than for Bitcoin to do a 6X from here. So let's put those ground rules down. Now, if I had to state a portfolio of mine, I would always state, build it your way down also. Meaning mostly Bitcoin, some Ethereum, some Solana, some BNB, some XRP, some Dogecoin. And that's basically, including perhaps even some Cardano and maybe some AVAX, a very simple, very straightforward, very easy portfolio. Why? Well, because for most people, the portfolio they built initially is not that important. It's mostly about getting started, buying your first coins, because you'll grow from there. The most important step is step one, actually going ahead and buying yourself some coins. The crypto exchange we are trading on and using right now to buy these coins is Blowfin. You can check it out with the link down below. You can use it anywhere. I've also got a link down below to Bybit. It's another crypto exchange I use all the time, but you need to KYC for this. There's some more rules on it, and a lot of people can't use it. Blowfin, anybody can use. If it doesn't work, use a VPN. But continue on. Like my most basic portfolio that I can think of is just the coins I just mentioned, right? Only these top coins, not really being too vague about it. All of these you can buy on nearly every single exchange out there. So it's just a starter kit. This is what I tell, for example, if a grandma came up to me, I'd tell her, hey, maybe buy yourself some Bitcoin, ETH, Solana, XRP just to get started, because it's way easier to just buy some of the most liquid, most known coins than trying to really fine tune your portfolio. They're two completely different steps. But obviously, I did not come here to give you only the easiest of easiest portfolios. We'll talk about a few more. So, as we continue on here, this was my number one portfolio, right? This is for the average Joe who just wants to get started. I'd buy just a couple of the top coins, a couple of easiest you can find, and over time I'd average my way down in terms of price if possible. But all of these I expect to do really well over the entire run, so the risk is very low. And so a risk reward, the reward is pretty high as we expect a good multiplier, but more importantly, the risk is very low, meaning we have a good balance right there. Portfolio number two is we skip Bitcoin, we skip Ethereum. Why? Well, because for Bitcoin, let's say we expect a return of maybe a 3x over the run, meaning maybe it's going to go from this $70,000 mark all the way to $210,000, maybe more, $280. Well, that's good, but from here, that's like a 2x, maybe 3x. And for Ethereum, let's say we expect $12,000, you know, more than double the all-time high ever. Well, again, that's like a 3x from here. Whereas with Solana, my own personal expectation is a minimum of 4x. With XRP, I expect the price to at least do like a 7 or 8x. And the lower down the ranking we go, this is not always true, but the more I kind of expect for it to do. For example, 𝗵𝗵𝗃, I believe can easily do a 7 to 10x from here. And as we go down lower and lower, there are many more coins which I believe can do even higher multiples of that. And so for that reason, if I was a person trying to get more into it, now it splits off again. If I had a lot of money, right? I already have, for example, $100,000. I have already $600,000. I already have $5 million. I'd still include Bitcoin, Ethereum because of the risk factor. Bitcoin and Ethereum have the lowest risk. They'll most likely do well over the next few months and next 20 years. But obviously, like I just stated, the return will be lower. For most people that watch this video, I would skip these, or I'd buy them with some leverage. But again, that's not as easy to do for a starter. But anyway, I would skip them and go for coins that have a higher potential, but then again, added also some slightly higher risk that is going to be more volatile in the short term and perhaps not last the next 20 years. You don't know. Whereas with Bitcoin and ETH, and maybe even the biggest ones like Solana and XRP here, you're quite sure they'll be here over the next 5 or 10 years. So that is portfolio number 2, just skipping the main of the main ones, you know, your Bitcoin and Ethereum, because they won't do as well. I have to add one thing though. Generally in a crypto bull market, we expect Bitcoin to run first, then some of these huge altcoins, and then smaller and smaller altcoins as the market progresses. A bull cycle, generally speaking, or a crypto cycle, is 4 years. 3 years of up, which now started in November of 2022, and then 1 year of down, where the prices basically go down about 80%. Just look back at it here, you can see it always basically happened in the exact same fashion, which is why we state that somewhere between, let's say, July and November of 2025, we expect Bitcoin to peak. But usually after Bitcoin peaks, then starts the altcoin season where a lot of the altcoins start peaking. And just a quick little reminder, guys, if you've not done it yet, make sure you go ahead and press the like button on this video. And I post crypto videos every single day. So if you are interested in crypto, make sure you put the notification bell on so you never miss out on any of the updates. And like I was saying though, I would, skip those two if I was slightly more risk tolerant, and obviously I wanted some more gains. Now, let's skip the simplest of simplest and just dive into what I would go for if I was new to crypto and I had some money. Because there's another portfolio which I'd go for if I had like a $7 to my name. We'll talk about that at the end, or maybe even only $100 to my name. If I've got, maybe $1,000 and I, didn't want to lose and risk everything like crazy day one, here's what I'd go for. So I'd spread my money into a few different baskets and I'd hit these sectors, and you gotta kind of focus a little bit on what the different crypto sectors are. Give it some time, you'll learn, but I'd go for some payment, structure, just fundamental type of cryptos. I'd probably go for some meme tokens. I'd go for some AI tokens. You can combine those two. I'd go for some real world assets or real world asset related tokens and some gaming tokens. Those you have to hit. So to name a few coins for sector number 1, I'd go with XRP. My payment token, my fundamental token. It's been around for so many years. It already made some high points back in 2017. I'm expecting it to do it again. None of this is financial advice, by the way. These are all just my thoughts. I really want to hammer that in. These are my portfolios, my thoughts. This does not necessarily work. I cannot guarantee you anything. For a meme token, again, we're staying on the quote-unquote safe side because the more you learn, the more you'll understand. But anyway, I'd go with 𝗵𝗵𝗃 for right now. I still expect at least a 10x or so from where we are at today. For AI, I'd go with either Render or EOS just to keep it simple. I also hold a ton of Solana. For gaming, right now the problem with a gaming coin is that none of these coins are necessarily primed. With a gaming coin, you're basically buying it with the anticipation that the next few months will be huge for gaming, and a lot of coins that were basically turned undervalued over the last few weeks here are going to start going. But none of these are necessarily hype coins right now. None of these have really been so exciting recently, except for maybe your Sandbox and MANA because they pumped like 70% yesterday. But generally speaking, I can't give you one coin. It would literally be like me closing my eyes, scrolling through and picking one of them. With RWA though, I have a couple of good ones. I'd go either for Mantra or 𝗕𝗄. I think both of these are just absolutely huge. And that's like a good, well-rounded, but low amount of coin portfolio. I'd probably also add a few more of the big ones just to kind of offset the risk of the smaller ones. Maybe a little bit of Cardano. A lot of people are very, very excited about SUI recently. I think actually though that Aptos might outperform SUI here recently or in the near future. And maybe another altcoin, maybe another meme coin. We add some BRET in there. It's just to kind of fill up your sectors a little bit to not only have one coin. You know, another meme coin that's extremely popular, gains all the hype all the time, Popcat. Again, I don't state you should own all of these. I'm just giving you some ideas of what, if I was new, I'd probably go for, at least hold a little bit. Also because it's a good way to get started. This is not the perfect end goal. It's a way to get yourself in to all these different sectors. And as you do, you learn more about them. If your goal is not to learn anything else, then I always think you're better off just buying Bitcoin with leverage because the risk is so low and you don't really have to time it. I mean, time has told us that if you had just bought Bitcoin at any point in the past, you'd be up right now because it's at all-time high prices, especially if you bought once and then kept on buying over time, you'd have made a ton of money. Whereas with some of these altcoins, that's not fully true. Anyway, then to talk about some coins that I'd buy if I was hungry, you know, I had $10 to my name, which coins would I go for? Well, to be honest, ladies and gentlemen, I'd go for coins in the memes and AI meme sectors. So in AI memes, I'd probably just try to buy, for example, all 10 of them. Maybe close my eyes and just buy a few. Skip the first two, you know, because they're already too big. They're already in the too high of the hundreds of market cap. I'd buy all these, close my eyes, and hope for something amazing to happen. You might say, Dusty, but these are also big, you know, $100 million market caps, etc., etc. But then I'd basically be going for the idea that meme coins in the AI sector are going to pop off from here, which again, there's a very high probability that they will. With memes themselves, if you skip the top, well, then again, your multiplier doesn't necessarily increase. It's actually possible that 𝗵𝗵𝘀𝗀𝗃, for example, who's way higher up here, will do a better return than some other coin because with meme coins, it's very much about hype at the time. And so even if we expect the whole meme coin sector to go crazy, a lot of these coins, like here, this peanut one, the Nero one, Goat, this Act, they all came in over like the last month and they're all in the top 200, you know, in the top of the top. And so if you're just buying, you know, smaller and smaller ones here, there's not necessarily that good a chance that they'll end up on the top or end up with crazy gains. Whereas with AI memes, it's either a very, very big make or very big break, but it seems to be the biggest up-and-coming sector right now. So I'd probably just focus on that, or I'd focus on new launches, but the scale requirement is very high. And then you'd go mostly from just a portfolio to trading them. Whereas with AI memes, I think if you focus on them, it could do really well by just holding on. And again, memes themselves could also work. I'm just saying that I'd probably just, if I wanted to start out, just buy my way down, buy like 12 of them. Some DOGE, some SHIB, some 𝗵𝗵𝘀𝗀𝗃, some BONK, some 𝗬𝗏, some Floki, some BRET, some Popcat, some maybe even some Peanut. Go crazy, right? Because it got listed. I've never really been into these two right here, but I just go on, try to buy a few of them. Maybe a random one here and there. Hey, some 𝗵𝗵𝘀𝗀𝗃 coin. Maybe some chill guy expecting another bounce. But you can see as prices are moving right now, they're extremely volatile. But that's also what you're looking for if you got $100 or you got like $7 to your name. Because otherwise, how are you going to make it out? If I really had $7 though, I'd probably just go for a crazy meme that's just launched. Probably going to lose the 7, but maybe it's going to turn into like 25 and then it can start flipping or try flipping again. I could try 3 flips now and go from there. Because at $7, you might not even be able to really buy something on an exchange. It might need to be $10. Can't quite remember though. And I'll state it again, if you also want to trade crypto or buy crypto, whatever, I've got some links down below to Blowfin and Bybit, some of the exchanges that I'm using. And let me know what you think of my portfolios. Again, this is a very broad video. And what I always recommend to people is use this to start. But then as you watch, as you buy, as you learn, you continue to develop your portfolio to fit your needs. Because again, it's always a measure of risk to reward. The riskier you go, the more reward you will also probably get. But obviously, there's also a higher chance that it won't really work out. And if I look at myself, I kind of like the risky side, sure, which is why I buy dips of dips of dips of dips when it comes to a bull market. But when it comes to my longer term portfolio, I also don't want to be left behind when the bull market goes like crazy. So I want some coins in there that have a very high success rate, like a Bitcoin or Ethereum, etc. And because I've got significant capital, I don't really need the 7,000x. Even if we just triple over this cycle, I'm already very happy. And again, if I want some slightly more gains, I can also leverage my Bitcoin or Ethereum at maybe even a 2x or 3x. To get significantly more money out of it, even though the risk is also not that much higher. But again, that was my portfolio that I'd go for. Let me know if you liked it down below. Make sure you press that like button. Let me know down below which coin I missed actually. And hopefully see you guys again in another crypto video somewhere later today.